My life's been a little hectic recently. Maybe all games don't have to be nonstop action all the time. Well, let's see what slowing down and smelling the flowers is like in a game. This time we got Donut County for the Xbox Series X. Well, Donut County is it's a game where you control a hole in the ground. Yeah, so a raccoon is helping run a donut shop, which is located in Donut County. Then he has an app on his phone where he's trying to do donut deliveries, but he's actually controlling a hole in the ground with his phone. Yeah. So if you're looking for an action-packed game, this really isn't going to cut it for you, because this is one of the most chill puzzle games I've ever played. So each level starts out, you're a small hole in the ground, and you progress by finding larger and larger objects to fit in the hole. You start with blades of grass, or bricks, or other small objects, but then you progress to the size of a house, and you swallow the whole thing into your hole. Get it? The whole hole? Because the one has a W in front of it, and the other's just a normal hole? Between each level, you get to see the dialogue between the various characters as to what they were doing when they ordered the donut and when they were consumed by the hole, which is another strength of this game. It has clever writing, funny dialogue between the characters that, even though the game isn't story-driven, the cutscenes are still just enjoyable. Most of the levels have another level of puzzle solving that you need to do in order to progress through. Like, for example, there's this level where you have to manage water, and there's another one where you need to catapult a frog out of the hole, and there's another where you ring a bell and you watch eggs. None of these are drastically difficult, but it's the charm that makes me enjoy playing those levels. Another aspect of the charm of this game is leveling yourself up, which is the weirdest way I've ever had to level something up in the history of games. So the raccoon, which if I haven't mentioned is the funniest and best character in the game, is playing this mobile game where once he levels up you unlock a drone, but the entirety of the game that you play is being played through the view of his phone, and after each level you get closer to level 10 where you can unlock the drone, which is part of the narrative. Yeah, and then it gets even more confusing because there's other sections of the game where you're involved in a text conversation between two characters, and you either send a text or you send this goose-looking thing, which I really like to send that a lot because it's funny and I'm not really sure if it affects the game or the story, but I was just sending it a lot because it was a goose. So here's where I just gotta be honest. I love the story aspect of the game. It's intriguing and the art style is pleasing and it matches the atmosphere of the game, and the whole concept is really mysterious. Like when I watched the trailer for the game, I knew I had to try it for myself, and it's a really chill game, but I'm just not sure how much of a game it is. It's just really straightforward, and from what little challenge it provides, it's not that much of a game. You pretty much just sneak up on the small stuff, then the medium stuff, and the large stuff, and then you go to the next one. And most of the game is played with the left analog stick. There isn't really much button pressing other than the menus, and it just feels more like an interactive animation or a light novel rather than a game with a quirky, outside-of-the-box thinking narrative and gameplay, which that's not a bad thing. It just doesn't check many of the boxes of what I would consider a game. That's not to say it doesn't provide value to the player, because it's stylistic and it's not like any other game that I've played, so I have to give it credit for that, but that's just how it is. So, not surprising, it doesn't land on any of the lists that I have accumulating right now, so for now, nothing to review at this part of the video. Like I said, it's different and it fills a hole that not many games can fill. It's just a very small hole in the enormous gaming landscape. I'm surprised there wasn't any religious references in this game, because, it's a holy game. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Working on another review soon. See you then.